What's going on, friends and family? Thank you for watching. I am your host, Terrence Manning, and this is My Thoughts Uncut. We're going to talk about the beef between Stephen A. Smith and Bakari Sellers. This thing got a little bit heated. They went back and forth, and I'm going to show you what they both said. Let's check this out.
Bakari Sellers, however, has a different agenda. But let's listen to what his sorry ass has to say before I go further. Go ahead.
There is a through line between the Ice Cubes and the Jason Whitlocks and the Stephen A. Smiths. These individuals have been around since we have been on this freedom struggle. There have always been individuals out there which exhibit behaviors of charlatans who utilize, some people are in it for the change and some people are in it for the change, right? And I think that that's indicative. And they find the easiest path to the front of the line. And Stephen A. Smith is someone who doesn't have the depth to talk about House oversight or the appropriations process, right? And how you're able to bring resources back to your community or what Jasmine is doing. So he rather lampoon her.
I am.
Now, in Stephen A.'s defense, this guy basically said, Stephen A., you're not standing on code. Don't criticize the black man. Don't criticize the black woman. That's basically what he's implying. Let's see what Stephen A. says.
Not fond of Bakari Sellers.
Damn.
I think that he is an individual that is so judgmental of other people that he is allergic to mirrors. I'm quite sure you never took money from anybody, huh? I certainly have. The only money I've ever gotten from anybody are jobs I worked. But I don't know your history, so I'm not going to go there. What I do know is this. First of all, never mention me and that other individual who everybody knows I despise in the same breath. I'm nothing like him. Secondly, Bakari Sellers is right about my lack of depth. My issue is, why are you acting like I act like I have that depth?
Jason Whitlock don't get along with Stephen A.
Politics is what I observe.
True.
Not to the degree that you do. But what Bakari Sellers needs to recognize is, why don't you tell what the truth is? Why don't you speak about the level of resentment that you really, really have? That the American people are more willing to listen to somebody like me or the others that you mentioned rather than you, who's been doing this for years. Out of South Carolina and then some. Nobody care what you have to say. I'm giving you pub right now by talking about you.
This is Stephen A. coming in hot. Damn. So for those of you who don't know, Bakari Sellers is a contributor on CNN. He's basically he's a political analyst and contributor, but I think he also practices law and he has his own podcast. Now, I haven't seen his podcast, but I know he does have his own podcast.
Because this is the kind of individual he is. I could come at somebody like that who chooses to be disrespectful. You know my number. You could have reached me a long time ago. We could have had discussions a long time ago. The only time you ever reached out to anybody is when you wanted to sell your book. Oof. So it doesn't matter to me what you've accomplished. It doesn't matter to me how intelligent you are. It doesn't matter to me how knowledgeable you are, because nobody wants to listen to you, because your intent and your disposition and your default position is to attack personally people you don't even know. A charlatan? That implies I'm a fraud. How am I fraudulent? My work speaks for itself. I've been doing this for years. And SiriusXM wanting to come to me, I got news for you. CNN will want me before they want you, and you work there.
Oof. Hey, Stephen A. hilarious. He put up the definition, and here's the thing. He's calling him a charlatan. Not, he's using it wrong, which is weird for someone that is educated and is in the political field, and he's an attorney. But what he's really saying is that Stephen A. is criticizing black people, and he's, like I said, not standing on code. You shouldn't be doing that. Don't talk bad about us in front of the white people. That's basically why he's calling him a charlatan. I'm surprised he didn't call him a coon. And Stephen A. wasn't even that harsh on Jasmine Crockett. All he said was, "Why are you talking Trump this, Trump that? Why don't you go back and fight for the needs of your district? I believe it's in Dallas." So I'm not sure why Baraki Sellers is so upset with Stephen A. He might be jealous of him.
Not to mention other networks. Don't hate on us because of what you ain't. Step up and be more than that by focusing on the issues. And if we don't know, teach us. That's all you got to do. Teach us.
Definition.
If you're right, we'll listen to you. And instead of me calling you out on the airways, what I do instead is sit on the air and say, hey, this makes perfect sense, man. Bakari Sellers is right. Just like I've said Van Jones is right. Just like I've said others are right. On the left and the right. You bought and paid for on one side. Don't even want to hear what the other has to say.
He's right. This guy, and I watch CNN. I watch other networks on the left and the right. Bakari Sellers, he never agrees with Republicans. Never. Scott Jennings will be on there and he'll say the most logical things, and he's just far left with everything. Never criticizes the Democratic Party. Even when the whole Biden thing came out, where his own coworker, Jake Tapper, wrote a book about it and was like, yeah, there was a decline. He still was like, oh, well, no, I didn't see it. Like, hey, everybody sees it. He, like Stephen A. said, allegedly, maybe, my opinion, what I think, he probably is getting paid to say the most outrageous things and never agree with the Republican side. Let's continue.
But you talking about me. Sit your ass down. I asked a question.
Sit your ass down.
You got Tamika Mallory and some other person that was sitting next to Bakari Sellers while he was talking about me. I forgot who her name was, Tiffany something, I don't know. And talking about, I got LD energy. Go look it up. Evidently, she really don't know me. I mean, come on now. All because
the lady that was on the show said he got little dick energy. Women go to that when they don't like when you hold them accountable. All women, but especially Black women, because they know that's like the most machismo thing that men have their pride in. So
you don't like that I asked a question of a representative and her strategy. If you think I'm wrong, say why. I'd stand corrected. I'd come on the air and admit it. But y'all don't want to do that.
No, because she has no strategy.
What y'all want to do instead is hate. Here's what you don't know about me. I take it with ease. I know it doesn't seem that way because of how I came out with the opening of this show. But if you know me well enough, it's regular. I'm actually tame compared to what I usually am and could be. Y'all just ain't worth it.
Damn. All right, we're going to look at what Bakari Sellers has to say. And listen, it's not my fault how this man has his quality on the video. You would think that someone that works with CNN knows how to work a camera.
I wanted to spend a minute in response to the comments made by Stephen A. Smith on his podcast yesterday. Usually I ascribe to the notion that you don't roll around with pigs because you both get muddy and the pig likes it, or you never argue with fools because people who are watching can't tell the difference. But I thought it was necessary just for me to respond and be extremely clear about my issue. And Stephen, is this. I utilize words like charlatan because you use your platform, one that you've grown with great success, a very large platform that people listen to. But you use your platform to tear down the people who are actually in our communities doing the work. That is a great responsibility that you have. And so what you hear in my voice, and I want to be extremely clear, what you hear in my voice is not resentment, my guy. I don't resent you at all. In fact, I pray for your success. But what you hear in my voice is disappointment. It's disappointment because we have a level of expectation for you. We in our community have a level of expectation for you, and what you hear in my voice and many others is disappointment. See, I know the shoulders on which you stand.
So the level of disappointment and expectation is, hey, stay on code. Don't criticize us. No matter what, no matter how wrong we are, no matter how incompetent we may seem, don't criticize Black people, especially on national television or on social media. That's basically what he's saying, because he's not saying anything. And then he goes and says that, you know, he's not going to argue with the fool, but he's going back and forth with Stephen A. So, and the actual saying is from the great Jay-Z is, never argue with the fool, because from a distance, one can't tell who from who.
I know Big House Gaines, basketball coach at Winston-Salem State University. I know Stuart Scott. I know Dave Roberts, who helped create your platform at First Take, who used to come over to our house in the 1980s before I was born and eat spaghetti dinner when he was just starting out in Greensboro, North Carolina.
What is that?
I know you stand on the shoulders of strong Black men, and you are disappointing us every time you continue to chop down those people who are doing that real work. And so, yeah, I think it's necessary that we call that out. I think it's necessary we have that level of accountability, especially right now while you're appreciating the gaze of those individuals in the White House, the gaze of people like Sean Hannity, Bill O'Reilly, but yet and still you're quiet as a church mouse pissing on cotton when Donald Trump is out here trying to take away our voting rights, when he's putting police in.
What? What voting rights is he taking away from Black people? Most, believe it or not, a lot of Black people don't vote. So I don't know what he's talking about. And the ones that do vote usually vote Democrat. I haven't seen a law passed or anyone stop Black people from voting. And Trump just got into office. So how could he even possibly take away our vote if there was nothing to vote for yet? When he was the president, his first term, I didn't see any Black people turned around and told them they couldn't vote. So what is he talking about? These guys just say anything.
National Guard in our American cities, taking Black and brown people out of their homes. Yeah, you're quiet on those things that matter. And when people like Jasmine Crockett or Kamala Harris or even Bakari Sellers speak up and speak out, you rather tear us down than actually talk about the issues that are directly affecting our people. So yeah.
All right, all he's doing is whining. He's not saying anything. So I'm gonna agree with Stephen A on this one. He actually goes on Fox News. He goes on I've seen him on maybe ABC, but he goes to News Nation. He'll go and talk to anybody on the left and on the right, and he'll criticize both parties. He says he's independent, and he does criticize both parties on things he doesn't deem is right policy-wise. So I don't know what this guy's talking about. He's just upset because Stephen A is actually holding the Democratic Party accountable, especially when it came to Jasmine Crockett and all the actual Democrats who are just doing the most but their jobs. So I side with Mr. Stephen A on this one. Salute to him. Let me know what you guys think. Hit the like button, subscribe, hit that bell for your notifications. I appreciate you watching. Have a good one. Peace.